comfort or confusion? Idexx announces SARS-CoV-2 test for pets. I like comfort. Welcome back to Off-Label Veterinary News, your source for commentary on animals, medicine, and practice life. Will the ability to test dogs, cats, and ferrets for the COVID-19 virus bring comfort or confusion to pet parents? As with nearly everything related to COVID-19, it's complicated, complex, and downright confusing. Let me explain why I think this is a good move for Idexx and how it might help us in the fight against COVID-19. On April 20th, 2020, Idexx Laboratories announced it would make available its SARS-CoV-2 test beginning to North American veterinarians and worldwide in the coming weeks. This is an apparent reversal of their recommendation on March 13th, quote, against testing pets for the COVID-19 virus, end quote. At that time, CEO Jay Mazelsky stated, quote, should leading health authorities determine it is clinically relevant to test pets for the COVID-19 virus, Idexx will be ready to make the Idexx SARS-CoV-2 Real PCR trademark test available, end quote. To date, as far as I can determine, no health authority in any country has recommended any animal be tested for COVID-19. Mazelsky, whom I like a lot, responded, quote, while there is currently no evidence that dogs or cats play a role in transmitting the disease to humans, it became clear offering the test was the right thing to do when we saw clinical evidence that pets, especially cats and ferrets, can in rare cases be at risk for infection. And we heard from our customers around the globe that veterinarians needed a testing option, end quote. I agree. First, let's start with what Idexx Laboratories is testing for. Idexx claims to have created and validated, quote, on 5,000 specimens for the COVID-19 virus from cats, dogs, and horses with respiratory symptoms in 17 countries, end quote. As of today, Idexx has found no positive results in any companion animal. This data strongly suggests that dogs and cats living in households with people with COVID-19 infections generally remain uninfected, except in some rare and isolated cases. The test identifies genetic material from the SARS-CoV-2 virus based on published genetic sequencing results. It does not indicate whether or not the animal has an active infection, nor if the virus was viable when the sample was obtained. Theoretically, an animal that tested positive could have viral genetic material on it or in its body that was not replicating or infectious. I've discussed previously how these incidental positive results could mislead pet parents into thinking pets could develop or transmit COVID-19 to people. As a reminder, to date, there has never been a case of pet to human COVID-19 transmission, nor original SARS infection dating back to 2003. I think the fact that Idexx and others were able to quickly bring a validated animal SARS-CoV-2 PCR test to market is comforting as a veterinarian. I think the potentially confusing aspect of this announcement is when to test a pet. At this time, animals should not be tested unless recommended by a public health authority. Before this new test should be considered, at least 3 diagnostic criteria must be met. Number 1, the pet is living in a household with a human who has COVID-19 or has tested positive for the virus. Number 2, the pet already has been tested for the more common respiratory infections. And 3, the pet, especially in cats and ferrets, is showing clinical signs consistent with COVID-19. Because this test is completely different from the human COVID-19 test, Idexx says it will have no impact on human testing availability. They also point out that they have developed a human COVID-19 PCR test enabled by their expertise in PCR development and manufacturing. I'd like to congratulate Idexx for developing a validated SARS-CoV-2 test for animals so quickly. I'm comforted knowing veterinary diagnostic companies are able to keep up with the latest in human diagnostics. I also understand some pet parents and the media will be confused by this development, And many veterinarians will begin receiving calls from nervous owners anxious to have their pet tested. My best advice is educate yourself on the new COVID-19 animal testing protocols, keep updated on breaking veterinary news, and over-communicate with your clients during this pandemic. Veterinary professionals need to stay ahead of these complex news stories and calm the concerns of worried pet parents. There's a lot of corona confusion out there on the internet that we, as veterinary professionals, are the best source of truth for both the media and the pet-loving public. I'll keep doing my part by sharing content like this with my veterinary colleagues around the globe. Stay safe out there and give your pets a hug from me. Bye.